Hello, and today I want to talk a bit about trauma and business. So it's something that I talk about quite a lot. It's something I work with a lot of my clients, is healing trauma, but from the perspective of so that you can show up in your career, in your business, whatever your world looks like for you, so that you can show up as the most unapologetic version of you in all of your glory, bringing all of your skills to the table. So, trauma gets talked about quite a lot in a number of different contexts, but what I want to talk about today is particularly what that means from a business perspective or a work perspective. So just to recap, or to make sure we're all on the same page about what trauma is and isn't. I mean, you may have heard of post-traumatic stress. Often comes about as a result of a major event. So that could be war, it could be a car crash, it could be floods, fires, house burning down, any single significant event that causes a big response as a result of it. Complex PTSD, on the other hand, is more of a drip, 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 drip effect. So this is like repetitive things. So this could be abuse, as an example, a really classic example where I see lots of people coming who've experienced abuse in one form or another. Could be bullying in the school playground, where it just happens repetitively over and over and over again. And this is much more likely to bring up complex PTSD for us. However, just because you've been through a particular event or a particular situation doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily experience a traumatic response as a result of that. Because trauma is not the event itself. Being bullied, for example, is not the trauma. The trauma is what we make it mean inside of us, what happens inside of us as a result of that event happening, or that series of events happening. So one person going through the same experience as another, one could have a traumatic response to that and one could not. It's not to say that one person is better or worse than another. It's just all taken in the context of everything that has formed who we are in our lives so far, that one person may experience that as trauma and another person may not. And 100% not here to judge anybody. I've certainly been through enough of my own trauma myself, but the important thing now is that that trauma doesn't continue to create your reality. Yes, it happened in the past. No, we can't change that it happened in the past. What we can change is the meaning that is assigned to it at your subconscious level, at your conscious level, and how that continues to show up for you in your day-to-day life. So in a work context, a business context, what that might look like is procrastination. It might look like a need for perfectionism. It might sound like a voice inside your head, that inner critic, always telling you you're not as good as the next person. It might be a need to go on every single training course that you can possibly find to prove that you know everything, you know more than everybody else. It can look like self-sabotage. It can look like hiding away, not promoting yourself, your services, your experience, shining your own light and telling people and sharing how much you can help someone. These are all signs, or could all be signs, of trauma showing up from your past in your current business, career, professional life. And what we can then do is look to heal that trauma so that we can then show up in our business as all of us. And this is the key. This is the important part. This is the part where we get to step into being completely unapologetic about who we are and how we show up in the world, to own our light, to own our skills, to own our expertise. And without fear, to be able to step forward and say, this is what I can do. These are the people that I can help. These are the amazing products that I make. Whatever your thing is, being able to own all of who you are in a professional context as well as a personal context, this is all part of the journey of healing our trauma. Not being afraid to step into who we are, not being afraid to tell the next person, the person down the line, about what we do and how we're good at what we do, how we're amazing at what we do, why you should come to us if that's the service or the product that you're looking for. And being able to own all of that in the pursuit of becoming unapologetically you, this is all part of the trauma healing. So like I say, we can't change those things that happened in the past, but we can change how they allow you or don't allow you maybe currently to show up as you today. And ultimately, you deserve to create the future that you desire. And this is what this is all about. This is why we look at our trauma and why we want to heal it. It's like, it might hold us back. It might be, our trauma may be putting glass ceilings in for us, which really don't need to exist. So the time is now to say, enough. Yes, you happened in the past, but you don't need to keep creating my future, to keep limiting my future. So my encouragement to you today is to look into that. Look where there's certain behaviors, ways of seeing, ways of being, ways of doing that are showing up. Get curious about them. Where have those come from? How long have I been running this pattern in my life? Has it come about from a particular point in my childhood, from my early career? Like, where did this start? And to get really curious about it, because this might give us some really good clues as to what we're looking to heal, because none of these things need to exist in our life going forwards and in our life of the future that we're creating. So my wish for you is that you can be unapologetically you. So choose that today. Choose to heal from the traumas of the past so that you can be unapologetically you today, tomorrow, and for the future.